We hear it so often that, well, we assume it must be true, from Hollywood actors to university professors and even from preachers. Judging others is wrong. Don't judge. Well, I happen to believe that judging can be a good thing, that having the ability to judge, to question, to evaluate the beliefs and the behaviors of others, especially those in authority, is fundamental to a free and democratic society. And the moment that ability is taken away, then that society is no longer free and is on the road to tyranny. And in this video, I'll explain why our own culture is now traveling on that same road. Unfortunately, many mistake judging with being judgmental. Many envision a stern, angry, self-righteous person, someone with a holier-than-thou attitude who goes around pointing the finger of judgment at those who don't measure up to their particular standards of right or wrong. And 9 times out of 10, most would associate such a person with being a religious conservative. But judging is completely different. Judging, at least in the true sense of the word, is simply coming to a decision about something. And every single one of us, every single day in every area of our lives, make decisions. For example, when you're in the grocery store and have decided that product A is better than product B. And when it comes to human behavior, it's choosing between what you perceive to be moral over the immoral. And let's not kid ourselves. No matter what side of the culture war that we're on, whether we're conservative or liberal, churchgoer or non-churchgoer, we all make judgments when it comes to human behavior. Take television as an example. In the early television era, any scenes of the bedroom had to show 2 separate beds, one for the husband and one for the wife, because it was considered scandalous to show even a husband and wife together in the same bed. Now contrast that with today, where sexual references can be found even in children's movies. And those who have spoken out over the years against this increased sexualization of TV have been told by others to shut up. If they don't like what's on TV, then they can turn the channel. Yet in recent years, when there have been shows espousing more socially conservative values, many of these same people that told the others to mind their own business demand that these shows be taken off the air. Well, whatever happened to turning the channel if you don't like what's on TV? So the issue isn't whether we judge, because we all judge. Rather, it's if we're willing to let others judge the values which we base our own judgments upon. But in our society today, are the values of everyone open to scrutiny without fear of retribution? Or are there some people's values that are considered untouchable? Despite all of the talk of how tolerant our society is becoming, the reality is quite different. In my own lifetime, I have seen how judgmental and authoritarian our culture has actually become. How at one time, you were able to pretty much speak what was on your mind. But now, you have to carefully guard what you think, say, and do. On the one hand, we're assured that there is no right or wrong way to live out our lives. But then, on the other hand, our behavior is carefully judged as to whether it is politically correct or not. They say that we live in the golden era of free speech, and yet our speech is heavily censored. And the penalty for saying something wrong can be disastrous. From politicians to CEOs, from pro athletes to university professors, one wrong word, one careless tweet can ruin an entire career that has taken decades to build. And where's the media in all of this? Where are the defenders of free speech and free thought? Well, they're the very ones policing our speech and thoughts. Now, if there could only be one thing that you take away from this video, I'd like it to be this. Take a good hard look at the culture around us. Who are the self-righteous, finger-pointing moralists who are going around telling people what they can and cannot do? Well, 9 times out of 10, they're not your stereotypical religious people. So think about that. Really think about that. Keep searching.